Hey everyone, I'm so happy to have you guys in this group. I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about me and what Beachbody coaching has done for my life. So my name is Jackie Enos, and I am a former teacher. I'm a former elementary school and special ed teacher. It was what I had dreamed of doing since I was a second grader. Throughout all of my schooling, all I ever wanted to do was be a teacher. I had some pretty amazing teachers. I was not a good student. I really struggled through school, and they made such an impact on my life that I wanted to pay it forward and become a teacher. And so that is what I did. And so I went for my undergrad in elementary, and then I went back and got my master's in special ed. And if you were to talk to me about teaching throughout my undergrad studies, I could talk to you for hours. I could exude, you could feel the passion coming out of me. I loved everything about teaching. There were so many reasons why I went into teaching. I loved the freedom that it allowed in a classroom. I loved the creativity. I loved helping that student get that aha moment, see that light bulb finally go off, because I used to be that student. There was so much about that I loved. And then I got my master's in special ed, and I moved away from home, and I took this job. And after a few years in special ed, and I had switched positions, and I had switched to the last position that I had was working with severe and profound kids in a self-contained classroom that had a lot of mandates from the higher department and the Department of Ed. And I got really, really burnt out. I had really lost all of the drive and the passions as to why I was a teacher in the first place and what I loved about teaching, and everything was so mandated. And there was just so much BS work that went into it. And I lost all that freedom and all that creativity and all those other elements that I was able to bring that are me into the classroom. And that was really gone. And so I was just going through the daily motions, and I was getting sicker and sicker, and it was anxiety that was taking on. So I left the public school, and I bounced around from center to center, still working with kids, still working with with special ed. And I went from one job to the next job with bosses who I just did not agree with. Our styles, we butted heads on a daily basis. Our philosophies on how we should be handling kids and how we should be approaching them and teaching them did not agree. But that was my supervisor. And so I had to do whatever they said. And so every day I just got worse and worse, and the anxiety was really taking over, and it was really starting to affect my health. In this meantime, so between the time that I left the public school and the time that I ended up leaving these centers, I had become a Beachbody coach. And I didn't become a coach right away. My coach Shannon had presented the opportunity to me. She found me online, and she was like, I think you'd be a really great coach. You're already doing what a coach does. You're already living a healthy lifestyle. You work out every day. You're sharing about it on social media. You're encouraging other people. Your posts are positive and uplifting. And she didn't even know, but I've always on the side been helping people with workouts and like helping them, you should probably eat a little less of this, and let's try eating more of this, and helping them with their overall nutrition. But I just didn't have anything like tangible to give them. I was just giving them things that I do. And so she was like, as a coach, A, you would get paid for doing what you're already doing. B, you would have something to physically offer to people through our home workouts and our nutrition plans and Shakeology. And C, you'd be able to help more people. And she didn't know at the time, but I was miserable in my jobs. And so I saw her doing coaching full time. And even though I said no to her for 8 months, and I'm telling you guys right now, I've kicked myself every single day since I signed up as a coach, why I did not say yes right away. But I've just seen her being able to travel and just be surrounded by this amazing support system and this amazing community. And my entire life, I have just wanted to fit in. I wanted people to just get me. And once I became a coach and I met all these amazing people who are on our teams and people that we get to help coach, I have found it, right? People get me, and I have made amazing friendships. And that honestly is like if I never made a dime with coaching, the friendships that I've made through it would have been, that's it. I could have been settled with just that. But obviously the income does help, because it did allow me to leave my job where I would drive into that, and the second my car entered the parking lot, my chest would get super tight, and it was like bricks on my chest. Like I could not breathe all day, 9 to 6, every single day in and day out, going through the same motions. And I was more and more miserable, and it was internally affecting my health. It was affecting my relationship. And eventually I was able to work my coaching enough that I was able to say bye-bye and fire my boss. And it was the best decision ever. So now I get to do something that I love. I wake up excited for. I was no longer passionate about what I was doing. I had no idea who I was anymore. I had no drive. And coaching has like re-sparked this fire in me. And I don't want to say that I was born to be a coach, because I don't think people are born to be a Beachbody coach. But I was born for this platform. I was born for this opportunity and what it brings to me. I am a completely different person than when I started a few years ago. I've been the shyest person my entire life. I'm a huge introvert. But through coaching and through working on my personal growth, I have built confidence for the first time in my life. I've always been extremely self-conscious, and I've had zero confidence, which was one reason why I said no to coaching in the beginning, because I didn't think I could do what coaches do, even though I was already doing what coaches do. I just didn't have that mindset. I didn't have that belief. But coaching has honestly instilled so much into me. I am a completely different person. And my whole family and my close friends, they can all tell it. And they're like, you are like the happiest you've ever been, and the strongest I've ever been, and the healthiest I've ever been. And I get to do something that I love for the first time in a really long time. So yes, there are benefits financially that coaching offers. But let me just tell you, to have confidence is huge. To wake up every day with something that you enjoy doing is amazing. The day that I was told my boss, here's my 2-week notice, I could finally breathe for the first time in 7 months. For the first time, all these medical things started to clear up because that stress and anxiety was gone. So when I say that coaching has completely changed my life, it has changed my life. I'm doing something that I love. I'm surrounded by the most uplifting, supportive, positive, inspiring people. And it's not even just the coaches that you get to meet on your teams and that you add on your team, but the customers that you get to meet and help. And when you, as a teacher, you want that light bulb to go off for a student. You want that connection. You want to see them light up inside. They finally get it. They finally, they come out of their shell, they're learning, they're growing, and they suddenly start to do really well in school. You hit that point for them. The same thing happens when you're working with people and you're helping them make those healthy changes in their nutrition, in their fitness, in their family, in their overall lifestyle, in their mindset, and you see their confidence grow and you see this whole healthy change. And it is like night and day. It doesn't happen overnight, but it happens. And let me just tell you, that is the most rewarding feeling. So I may not be a teacher in a classroom anymore, but I still get that same gratification, those same rewards. But I feel like I'm helping people on a much grander scale than I got in this classroom. And it has allowed me to help people that I would never, ever, ever meet all over US and Canada. And when I tell you that they become your best friends, they do. I'm getting married this summer, and I have 2 coaches on my team who are like my soul fit sisters, and they're at my wedding party. And I can't imagine life without them. And I can't imagine having that big day without them a part of it. So for me, I would do this in a heartbeat over and over and over again, even if I never made a dime with Beachbody, because it has truly, truly changed my life. Thanks, guys.